I'm Wendy Nelson. Welcome to Forest Escape. I was born in Western New York, and I've lived in Illinois and North Dakota and Pennsylvania, Florida, and Kentucky. And Kentucky is our forever home.
We love Kentucky.
We came here and the land was a forest with a really muddy road, and there were 4 pink ribbons in the forest where the cabin would be built. And from there, we have completed the home. We have a storage building. We have a greenhouse. We have a garden. We have a chicken coop. So we are homesteading, and we started with nothing in place. So if we can do it, you can do it too.
Just think about this.
The idea of learning practical life skills as adults and teaching the family members to grow food and do chores and care for animals, repair equipment, build and hunt is vital. These basics have not been taught for generations and now need to be learned, as well as practiced. We don't know what the future brings, but we want to be prepared to not only survive, but thrive.
Are you curious?
Do you ever wonder what life could be like if you follow God's leading? Explore the idea of a forest escape. At any age, you could be living in nature, free from excessive debt, eating healthy food, building a new life, and learning new things every day.
Many people want to break free.
I work with people all around the world and talk with people in the United States, and everybody seems to feel way too much stress, and they feel like society is becoming more and more evil, and politicians don't represent them. The administration of the country is misleading them and taking them in a direction they don't want to go. If they're patriotic and conservative, they feel like they don't have a voice. Not only they don't have a voice, but they're being persecuted for their beliefs. So everyone is thinking they need to be making a change, and they're not sure how to get started. They're a little bit afraid, but as you learn something new, it's quite exciting because it makes you feel like a child again. You make mistakes, you fix them, and you move on. So I think that everyone should feel encouraged to follow God's leading if you are supposed to withdraw from society and become closer to Him, and to be closer to family, and to teach your children and grandchildren a lot of different skills that are necessary to live. And we need to be more a part of nature and withdraw a little bit more from the electronic devices. I mean, I love technology, but it's a tool. It's not a lifestyle. So we use the tools for as long as we can, and when it comes time that we maybe can't use those tools anymore, we have the skills to survive. We know how to grow a garden. We know how to repair things that break. And we're not afraid to be alone. And we're never really alone. If you're a born-again Christian, the Holy Spirit lives within you. So as you go through any kind of lifestyle change, you can feel comfort because you know you're not doing this alone. The Holy Spirit is with you, and God will guide you. I think that we need to have more faith, and we take a step, one step at a time, and we can do this. We have done this, and we continue to do it. Every year is something new, so we have a lot to learn, but we're having fun doing it.
People tell me they've had enough.
They're sick of their career stress. They live and breathe their job. They're always handling unfair situations and working long hours, and they're being away from their families. So They just really don't have a work-life balance, and they don't feel happy being away from their families. Most people don't like a long commute back and forth to work. If you're lucky, you can work from a home office, but a lot of people can't do that. So people are looking for a change. They want to get rid of the stress. They want their life back in order, balanced, so they can spend time with family, so they can exercise and have a good physical well-being. They're sick of the food that you can buy in the stores. Most of it can make you sick, and most of it is filled with carbs, and there's less nutrition in the food. Studies, if you do research on the internet, you can see that the food doesn't have the nutrition it had in, say, the 1940s or 50s. You know, they do tests, and they say that an apple had 50% more nutritional value in the 40s or 50s. So we're depleting our soil. Whatever it is we're doing, something isn't right with the food production. So basically, if you grow food yourself, you're going to have a healthier family. You're going to feel better, healthier, stronger. So it takes time to grow a garden. It takes time to make that lifestyle change where you're eating wholesome food. So if you're wanting to get rid of stress and change your work-life balance and be able to be in control of your life, a lot of people are managers. Almost all moms are managers. You couldn't be a mom and run a household and take care of children and buy the groceries and pay the bills and be a good wife and mother without being a good manager. So if you're a good manager at home, you're going to be a good manager at work, and you're going to learn to prioritize, and you're going to learn to say the word no. So this is a channel about making life changes, and in particular, devoting your life to God and what He's called you to do. So everybody has gifts, everybody has skills, and most people aren't using them, and we're called to use them. So if you want to follow God's path for your life, you have to rethink how you're managing your days, how you're devoting your life. Are you spending time with God, or are you just only going to church on a particular day? So if you study the Bible every day, morning and night, if you pray all throughout the day, you're going to have a connection to God that no society can take away from you. So this is the idea, to be able to be closer to God, follow His path for your life. And that's what the Forest Escape is about. We are changing our lives every day, but there's a big change that has to be made if you want to withdraw from society that is getting more and more evil, and let it have less influence in your life. Not to hide away, but to make it a deliberate choice to withdraw from all of that, to protect your children from all of that. So this is something that you have to work toward. It's not something that happens easily or immediately.
You can find peace.
So this is my first video, so it's a little bit different creating a video this way, like for a vlog. And I'm used to shooting video for television in advertising and marketing. Years ago, I made TV commercials and radio commercials. So this equipment is different and the software is different, but we're gonna make it work. So I have some notes here for things that I want to make sure that I touch on in this first video. So we talked about news and society and stress and wanting to break free from things that are things we don't like, things that we don't agree with, corruption, abuse of power, weaponizing the justice system, all of the different things that we may or may not have seen in the news in the last year or two. So once you make an assessment of all of this and you say, hey, I want to break free from this, I want to be separate from this, then you're going to get away from this decline of morals and this corruption and the rage, the road rage, people beating each other, all of these things that are going on that nobody really understands. They're not logical reactions to this world. All the confrontations, all the evil, all the crime. So if you want to break free from that, it's within your power to do that.
None of this change happens by accident.
So this is an intentional decision to break free. You want seclusion. You want a refuge. You want a place to go to when you come home to work that makes you relax and feel safe, feel peace, feel joy. I think that people have lost their idea of what joy is. And in this world, it only comes from God. It doesn't come from anything in this world. There are a lot of people out there searching, and they're not going to find it. It doesn't come from this world. The joy comes from God. So you also want to think about life without money. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but obviously they want to move to CBDC, which is central bank digital currency. So they will see everything you spend money on. And like in China, I mean, you're going to have punishment for doing something that's not approved by the government. So we see more and more oppression and tyranny setting in. And when they control your money, if you need to live with money, then, you're going to be controlled and monitored. So if you want to find peace, get closer to God, grow your own food, raise flocks or herds of animals, this is what you're going to focus on. You're going to change your life and do those kinds of things. But, you've got to research your options, all of the things that you can choose. What kind of home do you want? What kind of land do you want? You need to have water sources. So you've really got to do a lot of research. But if you're wanting to do this, there is an urgency because land is increasing in price. We might see the housing market decline, so then selling your house might not be so easy. So we have a lot of things to think about, but the main thing is that you deal with this in prayer to see what God would have you to do. So if you're considering living off the grid, homesteading, simplifying, breaking free, if any of these words are something that you're looking for, then we're going to show you what we did. It's not advice on what you should do because every person will do things differently. Even we did things differently. We made mistakes along the way. We still will. It doesn't keep us from wanting to do this. We're committed 100%. So every day we have to learn something new, and we want to learn something new. I can work from home, so I'm lucky. But more and more people are finding jobs where they can work from home. And there are all kinds of things you can do to create a business, to sell things on the internet, to sell things to your neighbors. You can generate revenue just working from home. You can sell your eggs if you raise chickens. You can sell your fruits and vegetables if you're growing fruits and vegetables around your home. So I think that we should have done this long before we were getting close to retirement.
It doesn't matter what age you are.
So you can do this at any age. You can be young and make this lifestyle change when you're young. And it would be ideal because you could save so much money And you could start out correctly instead of having to make this giant change in thinking. To simplify means not having excessive debt. It means not being materialistic. It means maybe having a tiny home or a cabin in the woods, something that you pay cash for, something that you can own in a short term, 5 years or 10 years. Maybe you have to buy land on payments, but in a short period of time, the debt will be gone. The idea is to not have debt. You don't need savings, you don't need money, in my opinion, not advice, but what we do. You don't need money if you don't have debt. So the idea is to cut your expenses, to sell the things that have really high payments. A mortgage that is $2,000 a month or $1,500 a month is too much. It puts you under stress. You're obligated. So if you have credit card debt, you need to get rid of it. It's one of those things where you don't own your things own you. So this is something we have to make a change for. We have to have a plan, a short-range plan, a long-range plan, so that we can be free. You know, the United States is all about freedom, but then we put ourselves in bondage by being materialistic. So we have to change that. We're able to break free.
Just start thinking about it.
But you can get started immediately. You can make decisions. And this channel is about making decisions, making observations and assessments, and then prayerfully making decisions that change your life. And it's a good change. It's peaceful. It's a walk on a path that God leads you down. It's time with family. It's finding joy. Every day there's something little that's amusing, funny, cute, wonderful, awesome.
So what is your path?
So every day has something special. My favorite time of day is twilight, before the sun rises and after the sun sets. There's a glow, something magical and special. In the mornings it's lavender and blue and pink. Very, very beautiful. And it's a quiet time. The birds aren't making any noise. It's very, very quiet. And when you think about the psalm, be still and know that I am God, it's at that moment that you know the change that you made to your life, this peace, is special. And you're following a path that God has led you down. So everybody's path is different. And I'm hoping that I can encourage you to follow your path. Thank you for tuning into Forest Escape. Be sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. See you next time. Have a great day.